Talk about your philosophy in terms, or expand on that philosophy about products. Does every product in here have a story that you'd be proud to say, or how do you decide what to keep and what not to keep? I guess is what I'm asking you.
Well, basically, it's by style, it's by quality, and if it's something that we feel that we have a need for in terms of it, if someone comes out with a product that's an unusual product that, regardless of price, we'll take it on because we feel that our clientele likes that type of thing. So that there's no set way to do it. Just depends on what happens to come along. If we think it'll sell, or if it won't sell.
So if somebody came in here in a couple of minutes and had a product that you really liked and thought that your clientele would like it, would you have to take something out to put that in, do you think?
We always kind of find room somehow or other to
I got you. Salespeople making a presentation, is there a definite way to do that, or they just respond to the customer at hand?
Well, as I said before, qualification to me is important, and what we try to do is find out where the carpet's going to be used, how it's going to be used, whether there's children, whether they're pets, what their past experience has been with the carpet that they have, and then take them to what we feel that they need or what they like.
Now, you had mentioned you'd been in this business for an awfully long time.
Yes.
I bet you've seen some pretty interesting changes over your tenure in this business.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, when I started in the business, wool carpet was the product that everybody had. And back in those days, wool was fairly costly. It was $30-some-odd a yard installed, which back in those days was a lot of money. And then nylon came on the marketplace, and you could sell nylon back then for $10, $11 a yard installed with pad, and that immediately hurt the wool market because many people that couldn't afford wool went into nylon. And back in those days, hardwood floors were the norm, and people had summer rugs and winter rugs. And in the summertime, they would put summer rug down. Obviously, in the winter, they would change it. But everybody wanted wall-to-wall because wall-to-wall, the people that had a lot of money had wall-to-wall, and that was a style that everybody tried to achieve. So that when nylon came along, everybody, the summer rugs went, the oriental rugs went, and everybody covered up their beautiful hardwood floors with wall-to-wall carpet. Now everybody's taking those wall-to-wall carpets off and going back to hardwood floors. So it's been a big change. Hard surface used to be asphalt tile at one time. And today there's vinyls and laminates, and the vinyls look like wood. The laminates, of course, look like wood. Those products were not even in existence many, many years ago.
I bet you still have jobs where you're pulling up carpet and finding wood underneath it.
Oh, yeah, many. Yeah, many.
Now, this is a multi-generational business. You came in, your father was in this business, right, I think you said. Talk about that aspect of running a business where you've got several generations. They look at doing business in a different way. I'm sure you did with your father. And the next generation looks at you the same way you looked at your father. Talk about that.
Yeah, I give my father a lot of credit because when I came into the business, and I wanted to do certain things, he never fought me on it. If it didn't work, then it didn't work, and if it worked, then it was fine. But he was always willing to try something different. And in 1961, we moved from its original location to our new location in Philadelphia, and at that time we took on broadloom carpet for the first time, and that's where we got into the carpet business. My brother and I and my brother's son are in the business now, and we get along fine. If somebody wants to try something, we'll try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Not everything is going to work, and if it works, fine. but we don't have much conflict one way or the other.
So you're just like your father was,
Hopefully.
pretty much.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's good. A lot of people are wrestling with selling to a younger customer. People that are tied into the electronic era buy things differently than you and I do, and a lot of people in between. Talk about that. Is that something you guys think about?
Yeah, we've found, and I'm an electronic moron, so I'm not really good at that type of thing, but we have found that the younger customer is more apt to go onto the internet and get information up front before they even come in the door. They're much more price conscious than the older generation is. The older generation seem to be a little more quality conscious. For example, we have Karastan, and if you mention Karastan to someone that's of an older generation, they know exactly what it is. Younger generation people are not as familiar with it. That seems to be the biggest difference that we have found.
So it's harder to sell a higher end product to a younger. The younger they get, the harder it is.
Seems to be, yeah.
So do you see long term that's going to change the philosophy of this organization?
Hopefully the younger people will get older, and that
they'll see that quality.
Yeah, they'll begin to see difference in qualities.
I see. Well, that's an interesting, I guess that's a unanswered question around this industry as far as I can tell, selling to millennials, whatever they call them, the younger electronic types. There's still a mystery, it seems to me.
Yeah, one of the interesting things to me is that with the Home Depots and the Lowe's and so forth, I don't know if the younger generation is going to be as service-minded, because when you go into a Home Depot, and I'm not knocking Home Depot, but if you go into a box store, you're not going to get the service, the information, and so forth that you're going to get in a specialty store. And I don't know how that's going to translate as they deal with the Home Depots and the next go-around, whether they'll be apt to go back or try a service-oriented store.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I guess you don't have a lot of conflict with a Home Depot or a Lowe's, do you?
Well, we have people that they will shop the Home Depot and the Lowe's. Sometimes we're managed to sell them because we can present it differently, and other times they're strictly interested in a price and they feel that they've got a better price there, and they'll go to one of the box stores.
I see. You're in a new place. You were mentioning you've communicated with a lot of your existing customers, so they know where you are. You have local papers, you have media and so on to help you establish yourself with customers here in your new location. Talk about that. You said local papers. Is that the primary media that you use?
At the present time, yeah.
How about electronic? Is that something that you've tried?
No, we haven't tried electronic. They've just been the internet, the website, and local paper.
I got you. You're a higher end operation. You had mentioned service earlier. I mean, you're in the service business. I guess you just happen to sell floor coverings, I guess.
Yes.
It's probably. Talk about what you do to ensure that people see you as a really high quality, service oriented company. How do you establish that in their mind?
Well, we will take samples to the house. We will let them take samples. We, of course, measure free. We give any kind of advice. The general look at a store indicates that it's quality. We give a lifetime labor warranty, so that if anything happens as long as they live in the house, we'll repair the floor. If there's a problem, we take care of it as quickly as we possibly can. And if there's a manufacturing defect, we see that the manufacturer gets on it and does inspections and so forth.
I got you. So you bend over backwards to do that.
As much as we can, yeah.
I got you. People have told me, just in interviewing retailers over time, that a lot of people have a really good operation on the front end, They deliver good service, as you had just mentioned. They've got a good product selection. And a lot of the benefit that they accumulate by virtue of having this good operation on the front end goes out of the store on the back end by virtue of not having a warehouse operation that's run well. Is that something you see, not so much here, but is that something you see among your peers?
Not so much. I know, speaking for ourselves, my nephew, Jeffrey, is at the warehouse every morning to see that the mechanics get their materials. And we follow up with phone calls after the installation to see that everybody is pleased. And we get quite a few comments about the mechanics, favorable comments, as to how they install the carpet and their attitude and their workmanship and so forth. So we're pleased with that.